What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Joshua Drake, aka the Epictasticness, future filmmaker 3940 Reviews here, giving you guys another ranking and another year-end video. Now, I figured with all the movie franchises ending this year, like Descendants and Rambo and Madea, why not stop and rank all the franchise-ending movies from the weakest one to the strongest one? I have 8 picks. And this is my personal opinion, so be sure in the comments down below to tell me how would you rank these franchise-ending movies. Be sure to follow all my social media links in the description box down below. And if you like this, you can hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification for when new videos are up. You guys keep it cool and join the Epictasticness. And also, be sure to check out my official merchandise store. I haven't posted any new designs for my merchandise yet, but I will be working on those. So, with that being said, let's get started. Now, I only have one honorable mention, and this is easily number 9. But if I have to include this would be between Rambo Last Blood and the next movie I'll get to. And that is Tyler Perry's Madea family funeral. At this point, Tyler Perry, he has openly admitted that he does not want to play this character anymore. And you know what? I can't really blame Tyler Perry, because he's been playing this character for a long time. But Madea family funeral, the best things in this movie is with Madea, Joe, Hattie, and Bam, and Heathrow. And I did like Tyler Perry as those characters, and Cassidy Davis and Patrice Lovely. I did like the way that Tyler Perry he was trying to end his beloved franchise on a high note. The problem is that it has the same exact cliches that every Tyler Perry movie has, and that does unfortunately come into the place of this movie being disappointing. But it's not the worst Madea. I'm not even gonna say it's the worst Madea movie ever, because I have been enjoying the Madea movies, but for a finale to the Madea character in movie form, you could have done so much better. But at the same time, you could have done a heck of a lot worse than you could have. But that's why I don't hate Madea family funeral as much as the next guy. And plus, I love Tyler Perry, so it's obvious. Now let's get into the main 8. At the bottom of the barrel is X-Men Dark Phoenix. It hurts me having to put this at the bottom of this list, because I had a lot of anticipation with X-Men Dark Phoenix. I really thought that Fox was going to stop playing around and give us the Dark Phoenix story that we've been wanting since X-Men 3. Unfortunately, with the constant delays, the reshoots, the bad test screenings, and the fact that Fox is merged with Disney now, because Disney paid almost $1 trillion to Fox to buy them. It does really hurt. It does hurt my enjoyment for Dark Phoenix a lot. And this is a movie where the more I think about Dark Phoenix, the worse it gets. But I don't fully hate Dark Phoenix. I do think there are some interesting ideas you could play around with, like the island of Genosha, the idea of Professor Xavier being egotistical, selfish, and him seeing the error of his ways for what he did to Jean. I think all of that is good. I think you did try the best that you could to make this a better adaptation of the Dark Phoenix saga. But it just makes me want to go back and watch X-Men The Last Stand more, because The Last Stand has more character development than this. This has little to no character development. You didn't really need the villains in this movie, played by Jessica Chastain. And Jessica Chastain, she is an Oscar nominee actress, and she is a great actress. And I think she does fine for what she could as the villain. It's just the material is not that strong. Also, it doesn't really help the fact that Jennifer Lawrence acts like she does not give a crap about this franchise anymore. which I can see why Simon Kinberg wanted to kill her off, because she just doesn't. It's obvious in her performance, and I like Jennifer Lawrence as an actress, but this is easily the worst performance of Jennifer Lawrence of this X-Men series. But I will give the movie its positives. I did like the action for what little it was there. Some of the effects were good. Hans Zimmer's score, I love. I love Hans Zimmer's music. Sophie Turner, she did a great job once again as Jean Grey. James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, Evan Peters, Cody Smith-McPhee, Alexandra Shipp, Ty Sheridan, they all do the best that they can with their material. It's just, had you would have better script and a better direction, and not chop this movie up to pieces, because this movie definitely feels like this should have been 3 movies. Because the Dark Phoenix trilogy, as I said once, I'll say it again, you can't really take the Dark Phoenix saga and make it into one film. You at least have to make it in 2 parts. So hopefully in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, when they get their hands on doing this story, which I wouldn't rush it, hopefully they'll do what they did with Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. But Dark Phoenix was alright. But it is a letdown as someone who's enjoyed the Fox X-Men series. Next up is Rambo Last Blood. Rambo Last Blood, this was a fun way to end the Rambo series, but it is not the best way to go out. But Stallone, he did what he can. The guy is in his 70s and he still is a good actor. But the problem here with Rambo Last Blood, the reason why it's so low on the list, is because the villains are very weak. There's almost little to no action and also the whole thing with him going through PTSD is thrown away. And also, the movie turns into a R-rated version of Home Alone mixed with Taken. But the action was very, very good. The gore was good. Sylvester Stallone and the cast was good, and that's what saves Rambo Last Blood from being at the bottom of the list. In 6th place, we have Disney's DreamWorks' How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. This was a movie I very much wasn't looking forward to seeing at all, because I'm not the biggest fan of How to Train Your Dragon. I am now after rewatching them and watching this movie at the beginning of the year, but How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World came in and it showed me that there was more to this film than what it actually is. I did like the animation style. I like the way they ended this series. I did like the voice acting, Hiccups and Toothless. I did like the fact they gave the dragon his own love interest, and it did get emotional towards the end. And each How to Train Your Dragon movie is just defines great things to continue this great trilogy, and I'm glad I gave in to How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, because if I didn't give in to this, I wouldn't have realized how entertaining of a movie this was, and this is definitely a great film. In 5th place, this is going to be pretty controversial as far as ending movie franchises and films go. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. I get it. I know there's a lot of people on the internet and a lot of Star Wars fans that just don't like this movie at all. They don't like this new trilogy. They don't like what Disney has done. That's cool, that's your own opinion, but The Rise of Skywalker for me, while it wasn't the best way to go out with the Skywalker saga, is nowhere near on the level of a monstrosity bad as Star Wars The Holiday Special. Oh no. This actually still has some quality to it. I still go by my complaints I still have. The way they have the characters underwritten in this movie is not very well handled, and also some of the twists and turns are not very great. And this movie was desperately needed of a 3-hour runtime, because I feel like with a 3-hour runtime, you could have fleshed out this movie more. You could have fleshed out the twists and turns more. You could have explained some stuff more, and you could have gave more characters like Rose Tico and Maz Nakata and Finn more to do. And Rey is extremely overpowered, which is not Daisy Ridley's fault. She does a great job. I just don't like the fact they made her that way. But The Rise of Skywalker still had everything that a Star Wars movie should have. You have great performances, you have great music, you have by John Williams, great space battles. It was great seeing Lando Calrissian back, but I could easily tell while watching this movie that there is no clear vision for this trilogy. Even though I like this new Star Wars trilogy a lot. Honestly, it should have just been J.J. Abrams for all these movies. And as much as I like The Last Jedi, Rian Johnson, he did make some decisions I feel like he should have thought twice about. But The Rise of Skywalker, there's a lot more good than bad. It leads me into the top 4 biggest franchise-ending movies. And before I go into the top 4, again, be sure to come over to the channel, subscribe. Be sure to follow my social media links below, where you can get a lot of videos and notifications from me, and also what's the update to come as far as my community tab goes, all of that. And be sure to follow my social media links to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Stardust, Letterboxd, my official website, and my merchandise store. So, with that being said, let's get into the top 4 favorite franchise-ending movies. In 4th place is no secret, but Disney's Descendants 3. I went there. Descendants 3 was a fitting end to the Descendants trilogy that I've enjoyed. That I didn't think I would like these Descendants movies when I first saw the first one back in 2015, but I did. Then the second one came along, I enjoyed that. This third one is easily my second favorite. But the more I think about it, this might be my new favorite. I'm not sure. You still have the good songs here. I still like a lot of the characters in here. Dove Cameron's Mal, Sophia Carson's Evie, Uma, Harry, seeing Uma and her pirates team up with Mal and her friends to save Oradon from the sleeping curse, as well as Audrey. I thought that was a good way to go. And also, this was a sad movie. This was a hard movie to watch because this is Cameron Boyce's last movie. And with that being said, there really shouldn't be a Descendants 4 because you're only gonna force it. But ultimately, I did enjoy Descendants 3 a lot. I still have my usual problems. Audrey could easily been a different character and not been the main antagonist. I wish Hades was in this movie more. And some of the songs here were kind of, but I still enjoyed myself for what we got. Coming in 3rd place is Toy Story 4. Another movie that I actually was dreading. I dreaded this movie from the moment it was announced. And Toy Story 4 just came in and surprised me a lot. I really enjoyed myself with Toy Story 4. What Toy Story 4 did for me, it shows that Disney and Pixar still knew what to do with the Toy Story series after Andy's story ended in Toy Story 3. I still feel the same way I do with Toy Story 3 being the actual end of the series, but Toy Story 4 was a great way to end Woody's story arc. I really like the story of him going to find Bo Peep. I really like the newer characters that they have in here. Gabby, the toy Keanu Reeves voices. You have, and how can you not like Forky? And seeing all of these toys back for the fourth and hopefully last time was awesome. And the animation was really great. There's not much more I can say until I get to my best movies of 2019, and that is going to be a longer video, so be on the lookout for that, because there is a lot of good on that list. But Toy Story 4 definitely was ended. Toy Story. In second place, we're in the runner-up, and this is not my number one, but Avengers Infinity War Part 2 or Avengers Endgame. Technically, this is not the end of the MCU, but this is rather the end of the Thanos era of the MCU with Spider-Man Far From Home, and it was a great way to go out to some of our favorite Avengers that we've been following since 2008. Black Widow had a very emotional send-off. Iron Man's send-off is what got to me the most on the first watch, because I hated how he went out, but then I grew to appreciate it more. In the 3-hour runtime, while I still feel the same way about the first half of this movie being a little slow paced, it did have some great character development. And I do wish that Captain Marvel was in this movie a little more, but Avengers Endgame took 11 years of build-up and anticipation, and it paid off, especially in that final battle, because that final battle was great. I love the moment when Iron Man does the reverse snap, and I am Iron Man. I love when Captain America uses the shield and Thor's hammer. The MCU girl power thing, that was a good way to set up a possible A-Force movie. The line with Captain Marvel.
Hi, I'm Peter Parker.
Hey, Peter Parker. You got something for me?
Yes, that line was pretty awesome, and that was also pretty sexy. And I love the moment when Scarlet Witch goes over to Thanos and shows him what he's done wrong, unleashing her full Scarlet Witch power. So I love that. But Avengers Endgame, this is an absolute magnificent work of art. And yes, while I am aware of the deleted scene Catherine Langford took it out, I have seen that deleted scene. I can see why it was taken out, but at the same time, I still feel like you should have kept it in. It doesn't matter what the performance of Catherine Langford was. She did good, in my opinion, in that deleted scene. So Avengers Endgame is number 2. Now, what could be Joshua's number 1 favorite movie ending to a big movie franchise? Good question. That movie is Glass. Glass was great. Now, a lot of people on the internet are very divisive. You'll either like it or you hate it. I'm in the love it side, because Glass was a good ending to the Unbreakable Split trilogy. Have Bruce Willis, Samuel L. Jackson, and James McAvoy in this one movie together, as well as Anya Taylor-Joy, as well as Sarah Paulson from American Horror Story in here. The performances were great. I like some of the twists and turns that M. Night Shyamalan did. A lot of people have problems with the second half, but even I did, and I did have a problem with the ending of this movie, but when I really thought about it after sitting through it, I appreciated the ending for being ballsy and for what it was trying to do. And for what M. Night Shyamalan wanted to do was that this is not a wall-to-wall action movie. This is a character study, and I love character studies and deconstruction. deconstructing characters in films, especially in superhero movies. That is my thing. That's kind of like my thing, as well as seeing the fun action. But I love when you get to deconstruct characters in a superhero movie. Watchmen did it, and this movie does it. And while not many people are going to like the ending, I personally love the ending. So Glass is number 1. So that was my ranking of all 2019 franchise ending movies, from the weakest to the strongest. Let me know what you guys think of it down below. How would you rank all 9 franchise ending movies? From the worst to the best. I will see you guys in the next video. You guys keep it cool. Join the Epictasticness. Stick around for my most underrated and overlooked, my best movies of 2019, because that's going to be a long video, and my reviews for Cats, 1917, Little Women, Spies in Disguise, and Just Mercy. I won't be reviewing Crisis on Infinite Earths until it's complete, so that'll be in 2020. So, peace out.